Click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get instant notification of new videos as they're released.
So we're going to look here at a simple back to lay trade, and we're going to use a generic example here. I suggest that if you want to look at horses that are likely to be front runners, are going to be prominent in the market at some point, you should try a service like Pace Cards. If you click on this image that you see in the middle of the screen here, you will get a free trial courtesy of Pace Cards in conjunction with BetAngel that will allow you to find horses that are likely to shorten in running, which is what we're going to try with this particular tactic. So first of all, let me talk you through how the screen should be set up. I've set the odds display to normal so that all of the back prices are over here and all of the lay prices are over here. I've also, you may find that these have a cross through them, so I've made sure that these don't, because this one will allow us to place a bet on the one-click screen, and this one will allow us to use global settings. You can see little tooltips pop up when we hover over those to explain what they do. And what we've also done, or what we will also do up here, is change the global settings to achieve what we want. But basically what we're going to do on this tactic is we're going to back something in the pre-off market. We're going to carry that bet over to the in-play period, and we're going to get it matched at a much lower price. And that's how we'll get a positive trade. So if you look at the market before the off, then what you'll notice is that the range, the traded range, is quite narrow. So you can see here this horse is traded, you can ignore the left bit of the graph, has generally traded from about sort of 5 to maybe 4 and a bit, 4.7 and maybe up to 5. You can see it's quite a narrow range. Whereas when we go in play, if this horse wins, its odds will be 101, and if it loses, its odds will be 1,000. So there's a much wider range of opportunity there in terms of capturing a bit of value out of the position. So I'm just going to close that down now. And what we want to do is place a back bet now, offset it, and get that matched when the market goes in running. And we'll set up the position now, but I suggest that you don't do this trade until just before the off, so that you get odds that are the closest that they'll be to post. That ensures that any strange market moves or any odd behavior with the horse is discounted into the market at the point at which you actually place that initial opening bet. If you do it now, anything could happen between now and post time, so it's better to do it in the run-up to when the horses are about to actually start. But we'll set it up. What we need to do is select offset with greening. You can see there are many different offsetting options within here. What we want to do is offset with greening, and we're going to say offset it by 40 ticks, 40 ticks. It seems quite a lot, but of course in play the positions can change quite significantly. And what will happen is, if we place a back bet, then what we're saying is we expect the price in Indian stream to shorten a fair bit when the market goes in play, and we're going to take advantage of that. And in order for Indian stream to shorten in price, it's going to do that because we expect it to win because it's the favourite, or we expect it to be in contention at some particular point. So we have the screen set up exactly the way that we want it now. All we have to do is wait until a little bit nearer to the start of the race, and then we'll place this position in the market. So we're getting much closer to the start here. The horses are milling around at the start and will be ready to run before too long. And what I suggest on this tactic is if you do it blankly across different races, different courses, different favourites, and at different starting odds, you'll get completely different results. What you need to do is be selective and pick certain odds, certain characteristics, certain races, and so on and so forth. But for this example, we're just going to go into the market and back the favourite. At odds of 6, he's going to win 16-17% of the time, and we will definitely make the trade work, but it's likely that we may actually get matched even if he doesn't win. So if I just click on his odds here, he's lengthening a little bit here. What will happen is BetAngel will place the back bet and then immediately place a lay bet in the market. When it does that, you click on Keep All, and that will hold the bet over to the in-play period. So you can see we've backed him at 6.6, 6.8. BetAngel has offset that to 3.2, and you can see that it's actually used a very different amount of money from our £10 bet. You can see we've set it up over here to put £10 stakes into the market. And despite that, it's put a lay bet in the market of £21.25. And you're thinking, why has it done that? Why hasn't it just offset £10? You'll notice that in a second as we go to the in play period. But we've set the position up now. We just need the race to start, and then we'll see what happens to this position as the market gets underway. So they're off and running now and jumping over fences. And what will happen now is, as the market gets underway, is if the horse is running well and in an expected manner and doesn't fall, in this particular case, then its price will gradually get shorter and shorter as we go through the race. The price will contract and contract and contract, and we will start to move into profit. Now, obviously many things can happen within a race, and if you're looking at this strategy, probably choosing a flat race will get you a quicker result. This is a 3-miler, so it's going to take a little while for the eventual winner to be found. And as a consequence, you tend to find early activity in running markets is quite slow. It's only actually in the latter stages of the race that the prices will move around fairly significantly. Now, if this were a 5-furlong flat race, then obviously everything would happen within a minute. But because it's a longer race, this is going to take a little bit of time. So what we'll do is we'll come back to this a little bit later in the race. So a little bit further on in the race, you can see gradually the price has shortened. But you can see that what happened here was he actually just clipped a fence here. So basically the market was saying, oops, he's going to be a little bit more cautious about jumping the next fence. So his price has gone out. So can you see how the market is beginning to discount the odds of this horse winning or not winning within this particular race? You can see the price is settling down again actually here. So they're sort of saying, oh, actually, you know what? He seemed to cope with that quite well. So as the race has progressed, you can see here the odds on this horse have drifted and drifted, and that's because he's mid-division and falling back. Vadum was at the front for quite a long period of time, but has started to get caught by the pack now. We can see the price on Indian Stream. We are now in profit on Indian Stream. It's been performing pretty well, apart from when he clipped that fence. And as a consequence, the market is getting more and more confident that he's actually going to be in contention as we approach the finish line. And you can also see here a mixture of horses that are running particularly well and some that aren't. So you can see here Vadum obviously clipped the fence again here and has sent the price back out. But you can see, in fact, Indian Stream, the price is gradually getting shorter and shorter. Still some way off from our 3.2, but that's because prices this short only tend to get matched towards the latter end of the race. Now on a 5-furlong race, that would be in the last 2 to 3 furlongs. But even on a 3-miler, it will be in the latter parts of the race, because most of the race up until this point is spent getting the horse into contention, putting it into a nice position, ready to challenge for the win later on in the race. But you can see that it has been shortening, so if you wanted to, you could take a profit at this particular moment in time. But what I suggest is that if you're deploying this strategy, you'll find that there are natural points within the market where you would actually pitch your closing bet, X number of ticks from the opening price. But you can see that as the market is getting more certain that this horse is going to run particularly well, the price comes down and we gradually get met. And now we're at the business end of the race. This horse could go on and win this race, but we don't care now because we've actually got our entire profit across the card of £11.25. But what we'll do is we'll keep watching this race and see what happens. We wanted to get match at 3.2, I think it was. Let's just check on our match bets tab. Yeah, it was 3.2. And you can see the price is getting a little bit shorter at the moment. But even at these odds, he's only got sort of 50% chance of winning. And you can see that Valadoom is the one that's coming into contention here. So Valadoom is really putting in a decent run towards the end here. And it's a question of which one of these horses in the last few furlongs is going to clear the last fence and make a decent run for the line. So you can see the price on Indian Stream's been all over the place. But Valadoom is gradually shortening more and more and more as it starts to stretch out. So at this particular stage it's got one fence left. Let's see how it jumps. It jumps pretty well. And it's just a sprint for the line now. So I imagine the whip will come out in a second and the jockey will encourage the horse forward, which he has. And away he goes. He's gone on to win that particular race. So the great thing about this trade is you can see on Indian Stream there, we backed him in the anticipation that he could run particularly well. Now, most of the time, if you back the favourite, it's going to win anyway, so this trade will work. But what we've actually done here that's clever is we've pitched it at a level where we know it's likely to get matched, even if the favourite doesn't win. So as a consequence, we've backed the favourite, and we're going to win despite the fact that he didn't actually win. And that's obviously, one of the beauties of trading.
If you're interested in learning more about BetAngel, its tools and the opportunities they present, then why not visit betangel.com today and download a free trial.